Man that can, but he'll be remembered more likely as the director that didn't. Appointed to bringing the best new talent to the Toon, he hit out from the off at fans who doubted he could do the job.
Some of them are just talking out the backside, a load of tosh. I've certainly got more intelligence than them, that's for sure.
But in 8 months, he delivered not one permanent signing to St James's. Loic Remy came in on loan from QPR, but may not stay. And young Dutch striker Luc de Jong arrived last week. But like Remy, Newcastle were chasing him before Kinnear arrived.
I just think good riddance, really. I mean, from what we've seen, I don't know exactly what his role was.
He's meant to be able to buy players and doesn't buy anybody. That was meant to be his skill.
The sooner he was gone, the better. He didn't have a clue.
It all adds up to the kind of drama off the pitch this place is becoming all too famous for. And as is also often the case, the club's statement on this latest episode was fairly short and sweet, saying only Newcastle United can confirm that Joe Kinnear has this evening resigned from his position as Director of Football with immediate effect. The club will be making no further comment. That news late last night was enough to stop the presses at the Newcastle Chronicle. Chief sports writer Lee Ryder's currently banned by the club after it took issue with his paper's coverage of a protest against Mike Ashley's regime. But that hasn't stopped him filing his feelings today that Kinnear's exit might be a move designed to please fans after the weekend's third derby defeat in a row to Sunderland.
It coincides with a few people threatening to not renew the season ticket, and I think that's a big factor here. Or the club trying to win a few people back, get them season tickets renewed.
Just yesterday, one fan tried to sell the club's owner, Mike Ashley, on eBay. The auction was quickly ended, but the bad feeling looks likely to rumble on, even with Joe Kinnear gone. Greg Easteel, ITV News, Newcastle.
There's little doubt tonight the majority of Newcastle fans are pleased to see the back of Joe Kinnear, but many fear today's events will have little bearing on events at St James's Park.
After a disappointing and confusing week for Newcastle, it's the owner, Mike Ashley, who remains in the spotlight. Simon O'Rourke reports.
Mike and Joe, old mates, the men at the top. But now it's just Mike again. Newcastle's owner has chosen never to engage in debate with the media or the supporters, but everyone accepts he and he alone is the man in charge. That's why many fans are careful not to claim Kinnear's departure as a major turning point. Just the end of Sideshow Joe.
He's been a deflector. It's somebody who the blame is easily being deflected onto. It's kept Mike Ashley's name out of it for 12 months, although there's been murmurings. A lot of people have stuck to their guns, like myself. I've wanted Mike Ashley out since 2008, 2009, and I haven't changed my opinion. Joe Kinnear, he should just go and, sit back and, in his rocking chair and reflect on past glories as a football manager and try and erase the Newcastle United story out of his mind, because it's not one that he'll want to be reminded of, and certainly not one where, you can come away with any credit on his CV.
In the last 7 days, Newcastle fans have lost a beloved player in Johan Cabaye for good money, which was not reinvested. Then they lost a derby for the third time in a row. So the departure of Joe Kinnear is one thing, but doubts remain over Mike Ashley's long-term plans for investment and the club's apparent desire to consolidate their position in the cash-rich Premier League at the expense of cup glory. Sunderland's impending League Cup final puts that into sharp focus. The irony is that while Alan Pardew's team have done well for the majority of this season, Magpie morale seems to be at an all-time low. So much so that some are considering the football supporters' ultimate sacrifice.
What you have to realise is this isn't about losing 3-0 to Sunderland. This isn't about losing Johan Cabaye in the January transfer window and not replacing him. And for me, it's a hard choice for me to make. I've been going in Newcastle United for 30 years, but me and my family aren't going to renew next season. And that's it. Enough is enough for me. It's time to make a stand against Mike Ashley. Where do we go from here? As far as Newcastle United's concerned, it is a $1 million question. I think the future doesn't look black and white, it just looks black for Newcastle United fans.
Views on Mike Ashley there. Simon joins us. We've also heard a range of views on Joe Kinnear's departure. We were never short of a headline in the Kinnear era, were we?
What memories we've got, Ian. There was, of course, that infamous radio interview where he reinvented history about players he'd signed for the club. He got his Cabayes confused with his kebabs, of course, didn't he? He said, judge me on my signings, then he didn't make any. He said no one would leave in January, and then they sold their best player and didn't replace him. He never seemed suited to the director of football role. He wasn't.
So this is just the latest twist in the Newcastle United story. What's the big picture at St James's Park, do you think?
I find it interesting that the word coming out of St James's Park is that there's no immediate plans to replace the director of football role. It's possible to see that Alan Pardew's hand's been vaguely strengthened here. He may have more say in recruitment when it comes to the summer. We'll have to wait and see on that. But in an area that prides itself on the support that its fans give its clubs, above success, to hear fans saying that they may not renew their season tickets, that they're falling out of love with their club, that worries me.
Thanks very much, Simon. Well, for more on that story, including a timeline looking back through Joe Kinnear's time at Newcastle United, just go to our website, itv.com/TimeTees. And if you'd like to comment or get in contact with us, you can just go to Facebook page or Twitter, or you can contact us at pamanian@itv.com.
Police are searching a former pub for the body of a man who